Hello guys, Messenger of Death here, and I'm here with a new leveling guide, level 1 to 90. There's going to be two parts to this video. I will leave a link in the description for the timer for experienced players, but we're going to start off with the beginner players who don't really know what they're doing in the game and are possibly looking for the best way to grind up and level up. I'm going to tell you how to get from 1 to 90 in probably the easiest possible way. This is going to be a lot easier if you have a vaccine team. Vaccine's the king in this game. So many Digimon in this game are virus, and all the best grinding spots generally tend to be virus Digimon. So if you have a vaccine team, you're going to have a great time. If you don't have a vaccine team, it's going to be a little tougher, but you can still make it through with this guide. It'd just be a lot easier if you had a vaccine team. I recommend prioritizing a full team of vaccines if possible. So, let's get on with the video and get it underway. So when you start off, obviously, you're going to want to follow the main quest line, which are the yellow question marks, and it'll eventually take you to Dragon's Eye Lake, which is this area here. And what I recommend doing, honestly, is just going through the yellow question marks, following them all the way throughout the map, so you get back to the Village of Beginnings, where you first started in, which is this map here that we are currently in. And I will continue to follow the main quest line, just doing only the main quest line, until you enter the Gear Savannah around here, and grab the quest from the Yokomon. Reason why I say this, because by that point, you will eventually have a Biomon from the main quest line here, so you'll have your second partner already. And a purple question mark, not too different from this, will show up here. That will be Elecmon, which takes you to an egg hatching island, which allows you to get your third partner Digimon by hatching an egg that takes 1 minute and gives you your third rookie. Now's where the fun grind begins, and I'm going to give you two options, which I feel will probably be the best. So I'm going to make my way to Dragon's Eye Lake, and let's get talking. Okay, so if we're going through the main quest line, you most likely have a rookie who can somewhat carry your other partners at this point, right? If you have an Agumon, I'm going to give you a bonus tip. I have a guide on it, but there are certain starters which have guaranteed Digivolutions. And this Shellmon by the palm tree right here, I believe, can turn Agumon into Greymon before even hitting level 15 for a champion Digimon, which can be huge. But it may be hard for your other partners to deal with it because it's a data type, and Agumon is vaccine, so it's strong against him. So if you don't want to turn him into Greymon right away, or you can't do it right now by fighting the Shellmon, honestly the easiest place to go to would be to Lee's Fanbemon here at level 12. The reason why I bring this up is because they are weak to basic attacks. So any basic attack from any Digimon is going to get bonus damage, and it's going to say great. So you can potentially just go in a fight, leave your Digimon to auto attack, they will kill these really quickly, and you will farm experience to get your Digimon up a little bit more. They don't offer much, but they're a fast and easy kill even if you have a bad team to start off with, because you have like the full data team. Because these are weak to basic attacks, it can kinda make things a lot easier. Then when your Digimon are roughly around level 5, level 6, they should be a little bit more okay now. Your starter should be roughly around level 10 to 12, potentially, by the time you got them there. And, like I said, if you have Agumon, I would grind on these, get your Greymon early. Watch my actual Digivolutions guide to make sure you grab the right Shellmon and match the right text. Because the Shellmon on this beach is these ones, those ones, and it's a specific one by this palm tree, and it can get confusing. So go to that video guide if you need it. I also have a guide on each of the starter Digivolutions and how to guarantee them for Gabumon. It's fighting Sudramon here. So check out that video if you find that useful, and it'll help you a long way. So Biomon is vaccine, Agumon is vaccine, so you potentially have two vaccines right at the start, which will make your time a lot easier, but you will struggle a bit against these just purely because they are data. That's why I'd probably recommend going up against the Fanbemon, honestly. It'd be a lot better for you. I'd only really come here for getting the Digivolution for Agumon. Or if you have a lot of virus Digimon, this could be a great place. They do not like physical attacks, so you'll need to use moves which aren't neutral physical. But they give some okay experience, a little bit more than what the Funbeemon give you, but nothing too major. Once you have all your Digimon to level 15, and you now potentially have all your champion Digimon, because level 15 is when they can become a champion, I would make my way across this bridge here and follow exactly where I go. Things are definitely changed in this video, just purely because of the fact that they added a new way of leveling. Before, if you went 10 levels above a Digimon, you would no longer get experience from it. But within that 1 to 10 range, you would always get a flat experience amount. The game has changed now. You'll want to be within 5 levels of Digimon to get the maximum amount of experience. That is the most important thing, because that will ensure you get the most XP possible. So, you could sit there at the Digimon like most people do, but I wouldn't recommend that. Instead, I would open up the menu by clicking a circle down here, which has multiple squares on it, scrolling all the way down to the bottom, and there will be what looks like a cable connected or a tournament setting. If you ever played like a Dragon Ball Z game and the way it works. There'll be a briefcase with a symbol next to it that requires C on the keyboard to press if you don't want to do it this way. So if you press C, it will open the crafting menu. Okay, so something important I want to state is you want to come to these Funbeemon right here. My advice, honestly, to you is level your crafting while you are leveling. It will save you so much time and a headache in the future getting it out of the way. If you press C on your keyboard, it will bring up the crafting menu. Now, the first item you're likely going to be able to make are these croissants. These are easy because you just require to buy the bread, which you could buy from the shop here, which will be Mushmon. You'll buy the bread. You will craft a bunch of these, and you'll eventually unlock new recipes while crafting. To the point you can make milk, and you'll want to buy lollies from the Mushmon. Make this so you can no longer level it up anymore. And you unlock this crafting recipe in your crafting menu. You'll get this automatically through leveling up if you make enough of those croissants and lollies into the corresponding crafting item. The reason why I bring this up, because we are now level 15, potentially, right? We have 5 levels within the Funbeemon, so we have 10 levels to stay within their level range and guarantee our maximum drop chance, because not only experience is affected, but drop chance. I would get 20 of these Funbeemon wings by killing these over and over again. Then, I would run through that portal and go back into the Gear Savannah. We would then go to this area and we will want to fight Candlemon. The Candlemon here are level 20. They are data type, but you'll want to kill 20 of these. The reason why is because they drop Candlemon wax. You'll want to get 20 of these. Trust me, this is worth it. You get a lot of bits. You'll get a lot of blue cues, which you can use to level your skills. And these also drop another crafting recipe. So, you'll also want to kill 20 of these. No, not... You'll want to kill as many of these until you get 20 Candlemon wax. Just because you kill one does not guarantee a drop, but you will still be within the 5 level limit by that point. That you should be okay for the most point. If you've gone over a little bit, it's not the end of the world. But it'll make it so that you take much less time getting these crafting ingredients. And gets it out of the way. I wasn't supposed to end up in this fight. This is completely accidental. But it's nothing to worry about. It's only a raremon. Obviously for you guys, you'll want to try and avoid the big guy. If you don't have a higher level Digimon, like level 20 or something. 20 odd. Because the raremon doesn't do a lot of damage, but it just makes things a lot easier. Otherwise it's going to become a slogfest. You want to make your way over here next. And these small Hagurumon that you see around here, you're going to fight a bunch of these. The reason why? Because again, you're going to want to get 20 of these cog ingredients. Next, I would follow the main quest line, just following it along till you get to roughly around this area, and some level 28 Waspmon spawn. I will head there now. Also, if you're watching this, I suppose it's a good idea to also bring up these. If you ever see one of these and it's like a dark blue, run into it and press F on it. It's a fast travel point. It'll save you a lot of time. I'm just running there so you know where to go. Okay, you should be around here from following the main quest line. And that's when you get these Waspmon. Again, pressing C. We can bring up this menu. You'll want to get 20 of these. And craft as many of these as you possibly can. Doesn't have to always succeed. You don't have to make sure they all succeed. It's just to make sure you level up enough to get the next crafting recipe. Which will be this item. Then I would craft this until I eventually unlock these items. You want to make the milk items next for the SP items so you reach the next threshold. And that should give you these recipes that you can make. And that's important for going forward. Your Digimon should be easily around level 35 by now. If not close, above, or below, only by a little bit. This is perfect, because now you're going to continue throughout the main story. Because you're eventually going to want to get to Infinite Mountain next. So just follow the main story, it'll take you here automatically. I'm going to fast travel just for the sake of the video being faster. You'll eventually get to here, and then you'll end up leaving, and you'll be able to get your hands on a Patamon egg, who could potentially become Angemon, which is a vaccine, who is very good around this area, being that he is light, and also a vaccine. Could be a big help, so it may be worth grinding him up if you don't have a third vaccine, if you're able to get Angemon from the Patamon egg. And also, I probably should have mentioned this in the previous map, but you'll get another egg roughly around here from running towards Andromon while following the main story quest. If you want to know what egg is inside of the pouch that he gives you, it's one of the starter Digimon, and I have a guide on that if you wish to check it out. Okay, so you're going to want to continue to do the main story quest till you eventually progress down here, and you spawn a bunch of Bakamon down here. I'm going to make my way there now so you know where to go. You may have unlocked a bunch of raremon on the beach in Dragon Eye Lake, where the Shellmon were. I wouldn't really recommend fighting them. They are not really worth it at this point, unless you are further in the game. Just purely because of the fact they are better for more experienced players who can use high levels to essentially grind low levels really quickly. You'll want to be, while going through the game, within 5 level limit, because it's important. Okay, so if you follow the main story quests, eventually these Bakamon in this cemetery will spawn. After getting 20 of those Waspmon antennae and doing all the crafting stuff, you should definitely be in level range of these. And I would grind on these till level 40, in which point we start to get diminishing returns on our experience. And then I would fast travel back up here, and I would go to the Woodmon here. Okay, so we are here at these Woodmon here. And if we press C, we'll have another crafting recipe, which are Woodmon arms and Soulmon hats. I would fight these so you get 20 of their arms. And then I would make my way down over here. I know it may seem tedious getting 20 of these ingredients from each of the Digimon, but it's actually worth it. You get a lot of experience, a lot of cubes, like I said. You'll get a lot of money for it. And your Digimon will always get the maximum amount of experience as long as we're within 5 levels, so it's very handy. But eventually, when you have gotten 20 Woodmon arms, you'll want to run down to this location here. And you'll want to fight these Soulmon so you get 20 of their hats. Then you'll buy these from Datamon in the Town of Beginnings. Make as many of these as you can. You'll unlock the next crafting recipe, sorry. Which will be these pizzas right here. And as you can see, it requires those items that we crafted last time. So you'll want to go through that. Make sure it goes to as high as it can. Then you'll eventually start to make these. And you'll be able to do this up till 95, in which you get the next crafting ingredient. Which is this one that I am currently on. Now, you don't have to worry about crafting from here on out. At least for a while. You've got a long time before you have to start worrying about crafting. It's good to get it out of the way now so you don't have to do it once you've beaten the game, having to go back and do all that stuff. Just get it done while you're leveling through the game. It'll pay off massively the amount of bits and stuff you'll earn. And from here on, you're going to continue the main storyline till you get the goburimon to spawn up here. I'm not going to run all the way up here. The reason why is because it would just take way too long for the sake of the video. And honestly, just going through the main quest line, you'll eventually go through that anyway. And I believe you kind of have to get through it. You have to do some of the quest line to get one of the gates to disappear. I'm not too sure. So yeah, just do the main story until the goburimon down here spawn. Okay, these goburimon are rookie Digimon and really weak, and they spawn here. These are really easy to kill because they are rookie and virus. If you have a vaccine team, you're going to slaughter these for fun. It's not even going to be a challenge. You should be around level 40 by this point, and while you won't be in the 5 level limit for these, you'll still get good experience, and it won't take you long to get into the level limit for it. And they give really good experience. If you get Ogremon to show up, that's going to be tough. Until you start to get some ultimates online at level 50. But you'll want to grind on these to level 58. And you'll get your ultimate Digimon along the way, which is perfect. That'll mean that Ogremon will no longer be a problem. He rarely shows up, so you shouldn't encounter him all the time. But you can bring the experience to over 2,000 points, which is really nice. Definitely. Next, you'll head further up the mountain, follow the main storyline, if you will. And you will come to these black Tyrannomon here that are level 60. You'll be within their level limit. And you'll have ultimates at this point, so it should be a lot easier to take these on. They can do some good damage, focus target. And kill these till level 65. And from there, we don't have to do any grinding for a while. Honestly, you can choose to do some till like level 67 if you really are struggling by fighting these Black Tyrannomon. But I would do the main story quest if you're able to handle it. Just go all the way through the main story as much as you can until you unlock the next area. There's not really any great grinding spots around here, really. To be honest, it's not really worth the time to do it. I just go through the area, unlock the next area, which is the final valley. And being level 65 is perfect. You'll have definitely gone up from there while doing the main story. You'll be close to level 70, which is incredibly useful. And we will go to the final valley map, which is where you will end up through following the main story eventually. Next, I will continue the story and move on. And wait till you get to Shogun Gekumon's palace up here. And you have essentially 2 options right now. You can fight these Gekomon, and they will drop a item which is needed for crafting at this point. You can fight these to level 74 if you wish. I should have done that, but I didn't. I kind of left it. But the reason why is because they drop these items right here, which are a low drop rate item, so you'll definitely want to be within the 5 level limit. And on top of that, you're also going to get these USBs here, which will go hand in hand. You should have gotten some of these possibly as well from fighting potentially some of the Digimon in the desert area if you're lucky. Though I don't think they do drop it. Maybe the Black Tyrannomon may have dropped 2 or 3 of them. Because I remember having 2 or 3 of them. I don't know where I got them from. And if I remember correctly, they do drop them. So if you don't have enough, you'll want to fight these until you craft at least about 5 or so of these. And that should unlock the next crafting recipe. I still have to get more of these myself. And continue. I can't really give any advice for crafting further on from that. But you can potentially do that. Or the easier and faster method. Because those are champion Digimon. You continue the main story till we go inside of here, which is Shogun Gekumon's palace. You'll eventually want to come in here anyway. The reason why is because you'll want to get to like level 75 potentially. But you could just stop at 74. That also works. You're still being 5 levels of the next mob. But I recommend getting to 75. The reason why is because the story quest starts to get really difficult at the end of this map once you go through it. So you'll want to get to 75 on these as soon as possible before doing the quests in the area. And I would grind on these. They are rookie, easy to kill, they're only Tumon. And if you have a level 80, you can easily use this to grind up low level Digimon. But make sure they're close towards the level limit. Unfortunately, what you used to be able to do when there was a 10 level limit, is either give the flat experience if you were below 10 levels, up to 10 levels above them. They don't do that anymore. So I can't come here with a level 80 odd, for example, and fight these and carry these level 20s because they'll get barely any experience. The level limit is too different that they get like no experience. It's just not worth the fight. So you always want to stay within 5 levels if you can. Sometimes in certain circumstances you won't be within 5 levels and you can get away with it. It just takes a little bit longer. But generally, me trying to grind these would be a waste of time on these, even if I could handle them with my Vmon and carry them all. So unfortunately, you do need to use these spots to level up. Once you reach endgame at the end of this guide, you'll then have Digimon which can potentially carry your other Digimon, and then you can move to the experience guide. But I will stay on these to level 75, go through the story as much as you can. And then you will eventually unlock the final map and go to the human world. Now, this is important because this is the next leveling spot that you'll mostly want to use. Being at level 75 with the Tumon is perfect. Because you're now within the level limit to getting the maximum amount of experience from these Digimon here called Monmon. Again, rookie Digimon, easy to kill. Level 79, they are great to level 84. I recommend grinding on them to 84 if you really want to. I recommend doing it. That way you should reach level 90 by the time you finish the story. You don't have to do this, but you can do. But I really recommend it, honestly, I really do. Because the sooner you get level 90s, the sooner you can carry other lower level Digimon. You can move to the experience guide and cut out a lot of the beginning grind. You got your crafting out the way if you followed my advice by going through the crafting guide while leveling. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. Up until this point of the game, really. But we are going to eventually keep going through the story till we get to this area here. Once you hit 84. Reason why is because you're going to be in the right level limit for them. And again, if you have a vaccine team, I highly recommend making sure those are the ones you level. It's going to be a massive help, because at this point, you can carry your other Digimon. And you have a choice. You can either go to the left over here, or to the right over here. The reason why is because there are level 87 Bakumon here. They are champion, they are squishy and easy to beat. And are a great place to not only grind, but farm bits. You'll be at level 90, the max level, so you'll always be in the maximum bit chance range. Good chance of getting drops out of them for 10,000 USBs. And they are probably the easiest thing to really grind on consistently to level 90 from the Monmon at level 84. And you can easily get to level 90 fighting these. And there you have it. That's level 1 to 90 for beginners. Now we're going to move on to the experience guide, because that's going to be important for experienced players, and you can skip a lot of the beginning. If you are finding the guide useful so far, don't forget to hit that like button, it really helps me out. Comment down below, let me know anything else you want help with, I'll try my best to help you. Very much guys for watching. Let's move on to the experience guide. For those who are experienced, this is where the guide starts to pertain to you. I'll leave a link to this point in the description so people can skip to for the experienced players. Okay, if you're an experienced player who's already late game, you've already got level 90s, then great grinding spots can be found here. You'll get your Digimon up to level 15, fighting any of the Digimon around here, or the Shaman on the beach, get them to 15. And that's where I would immediately pull out my high level, as for example my Vmon right here. And I would fight these raremon. They're level 40, but I can one-shot these with my Vmon. And the reason why I say this, because these actually give some good experience. So raremon, you can fight up to 3 of them, which is great. And you'll want to get your Digimon up to around level 30 fighting these, and then I'd move to the goburimon in the cemetery that I went over earlier. So you would go to Infinite Mountain once your Digimon are roughly around level 30, and you would head to the goburimon that are down here. You might have only sawn about 500 experience and thinking, well, that's not really worth it, but that's just because of how low level my guys are in comparison. The 5 level limit also applies to lower level Digimon, which is annoying. Rather than it being high level Digimon, it applies to lower levels as well. So the closer I get to 30, the more experience I'm going to get from those raremon. It's just because I am currently around level 20 that I only get 400 or 500 experience. Do not be fooled. Level 40s are great to grind on. It's fast experience, easy kill, my rookie can kill it, I don't even have to use EVP. Piece of cake. Raremon are also extremely weak and don't do much damage. I've even had them fail to kill an under level 15 before by hitting it. However, if you all focus it, of course it would go down. But for the most part, Raremon are really weak and easy, so grinding new Digimon that you hatch from your eggs is really easy with them. From level 15 to 30. And then, of course, we'd head to these goburimon here at the cemetery, grind on these to level 40. Then we're going to head up the mountain to the goburimon up here. So you're going to come to these goburimon, and I would grind on these, so your Digimon are level 58. And they're really weak and easy, obviously being rookie, and you won't get as much experience at first being at level 40 from these. But as you get closer to 53, the experience will start to jump up, especially if you encounter an Ogremon, because Ogremon can bring the experience total to above 2,000. Then I would make my way up here to the Dark Tyrannomon. You're going to fight these Dark Tyrannomon up here on the mountain to level 65, which is perfect, because that takes us into the experience range of the Tumon in Shogun Gekumon's palace. So we're going to travel there and make our way up to it. So now that we're here in the Dark Valley, we're going to make our way all the way up here to Shogun Gekumon's palace, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with if you're already at this point, being an experienced player. Okay, so we're here at Shogun Gekumon's palace. We'll grind on these till we're level 75, which is perfect. You can go to 76 if you wish, but it's really not necessary. And then if you're level 75 or 74 against a Tumon, you can move to these Monmon now. They'll be good to level 84, which is brilliant. So that takes us into the next level range of where we want to be. Okay, we're going to come to this map here, and we're going to either go to the left or to the right, doesn't really matter. They're both the same regardless. And we're going to make our way over to these goburimon, and we'll grind on these to level 90. That is basically the best way to get to level 90, and the quickest way I can think of possibly in this game at the moment. Who knows, maybe somebody might find a better route in the future. But this will get you to level 90. They're the best thing to fight at level 90. Just purely because of the fact that they are only champion. goburimon are quite frail, so they can't eat too much damage. And they're probably the easiest thing you can fight for consistent bits, as well as experience here. I can't really say too much else about it. You get a lot of 10k USBs as well, so you get a lot of money alongside it. And that's my leveling guide of level 1 to 90. And there you have it, guys. If you found today's video useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.